I'm going to dive right in with the headline question, which a lot of people are talking about at the moment. And that is whether your social media posts can ever stop you getting into the US.
Absolutely, they can, Adrian. Essentially, the officers, specifically at the port of entry, so we're talking CBP, the immigration officials, they will and have every right to request full access to all your electronic devices. And if you deny them that, then they will deny your entry. So they will essentially go through your electronic devices, and their security is so advanced, within minutes they will come back with the information. One of two options will occur. They will ask you to hand over your phone, your laptop, your iPad, your electronic device, and in front of you they will there and then ask you for access, and they will pull up the information immediately, or they will go away with your electronic device and either call you into a back room. Now you're dealing with secondary inspection. So that's the one of two ways it plays out. They're looking for anything that they deem permits them to stop you from entering. It can either be a joke. I've had many clients over the years say, Caro, it was only a joke. Before they know it, they're not being permitted in. They're looking for keywords, whether you said the word work. They're looking for words, maybe you terminated your employment in your home country, Ireland. Lots of things they're looking for. They're a key one they always go for if you're partying and you're talking about, having a drug. They will look for words like green card. Their algorithm is very advanced, so they know exactly what they're looking for and they pull it up immediately. They're looking essentially for anything and everything where they can qualify denying your entry, revoking the visa, cancelling your visa.
Wow. Okay. So people are right then to be conscious of this.
Absolutely. And, people misbelieve and they say, oh, President Trump has caused a lot of this. This has been going on for as long as I've been practicing. Has there been an uptick in the last maybe 5-6 years? Yes. I'm receiving more calls where people are being stopped for what I would deem to be innocuous things on their electronic devices, but they're causing huge problems for them. Jokes are a big one. A guy's coming in, he's messing around with his friends, and before he knows it, he's being accused of all sorts. And the problem is, once an officer gets their teeth into you, so to speak, they're not just denying your entry, they're not just cancelling that visa. You may in fact be triggering a waiver, and a waiver is a different ballgame completely. You're now entering the discretionary zone, as I call it, and that means your power is gone. It's now up to an officer whether they're going to permit you into the United States, and that process can take years, it can be protracted, it's expensive, and there's no appeal process under these waivers. So it's really critical people understand what to do when they are presenting themselves. Specifically now I'm talking about at the port of entry, the immigration officers. So I typically would advise clients to wipe any digital information if they're unsure. If in doubt, just wipe it, because it's not worth something that you completely forgot about that was harmless. You were just joking around, so to speak. And I would always advise clients, look at your electronic information, look at what you're posting on social media. I'm dealing with clients, for example, even they might have a card that they bring with them. Okay, maybe it's a bon voyage, they had a job. Before you know it, the officer's going, oh, this proves now that you've given up your job and, you're coming into work, because they're trained. They're trained to not only suspect you, they don't believe anybody because they're protecting the US border, but they're trained in a way that they will interrogate you. You will be interrogated by them. I'm often speaking to clients and they're aghast at what has gone on. They're like, Caro, it felt like an interrogation. And I will tell them it's because it was. They actually, when you sign a sworn statement from them, they actually have you say you're aware and you were cognizant of this interrogation. They themselves use the word interrogation on the form they're getting you to sign. So yeah, it's very serious.